Hello guys, welcome to my channel, The Hierophant and the Hermit from the get-go. So there's a very, I feel like I want to say a very pivotal, understood spiritual awakening occurring for you, right? It's kind of like, I'm even hearing to say like perfecting your own system. You're perfecting your own system of worship. Not just like your spiritual practice, but like perfecting your own like spiritual worship. The Hierophant and the Hermit. A lot of wisdom, obviously, but what's with the spiritual worship? Kind of like worshipping God is worshipping yourself, you know? Worshipping God creates more gratitude within you. So it's not because it's not really about worshipping yourself. Very interesting. So I feel like there's a lot of like ego death happening, even though you are. This is kind of like, I don't know, this is like the energy I'm feeling here is being like a hidden god or an undercover god. Literally being this all powerful entity that's just wandering down the road, I don't know, smoking a cigarette or sipping, like drinking or like chewing on a piece of grass or something, right? Like that's what I'm feeling. I feel maybe I'm actually experiencing enlightenment because it's kind of this energy of like before enlightenment chop would carry water, after enlightenment chop would carry water. But there's also the story of like these two brothers that like wanted to help their village get resources or get help or something via like a river or something, okay? And so the one brother went away, meditated for 20 years, and he got siddhis, allowing him to like basically control reality and shit. Whereas the other brother just took like 3 months and built a bridge and like they were happy. So it's kind of like you might have started on an endeavor to kind of have something structured or have something do something that you thought was important, right? But in actuality, what was happening is much more important, like even beyond like your ascension into godhood, because it's giving that vibe of like, yeah, I'm a god, but it's really not that serious, you know, like I just want to chill, you know, like, but you're cool, that kind of energy. But you know, like I understand how there's this ego attachment to the concept of being a god. I'm just like explaining the like what I'm perceiving to you, right? But that is what you are nonetheless. Interesting. There's a lot of like conflicting frequencies within you that's still trying to like find equilibrium within this enlightenment. But I feel like a part of this like enlightenment or this like godhood or whatever is the acceptance of maybe the Nyx energy or the discord, the chaotic energy, in a sense of like, even that is not that serious, you know? I mean, what's a death to a god, you know? There are 8 billion mortals. What, you know, kind of energy? I don't really know what's happening here, but I feel like you're just settling. I do know, like, again, a conflicting energy. I just feel like you're very much settling into your God power in a sense of like, it's kind of like you don't need to strive for it anymore. It's something that's just happening. It just is now. You don't. Maybe that's also what I feel like with the self-worship. It's kind of giving the sense of like expressing the gratitude to the universe, to God or whatever, and receiving that back, and then being that gratitude, you know. 5 minutes and I haven't pulled any cards. There's a lot of like swirly energy. I'm seeing a lot of like spiral energy as well. So let's get the spread quickly and see what's actually happening. Well, we already know what's actually happening. So you might be going back and forth between two frequencies, like continuously. Your yin yang, the opposites. And I don't feel like this is a reading on you bringing oneness or something like building a bridge or anything like that. Or maybe even attaining cities in order to cross the bridge. I feel like this is something to do with, I even want to say maybe like picking a side. Interesting. It's like you're picking a side, even though you know there are no sides to pick. It's kind of like choosing your bubble in an infinite bubble. It's okay, this is my bubble now, and I want this one, and that's that. You understand what I'm saying? And there's this like, even though it seems very like constricting, there's this like very liberating, like enlightened perspective around how the seeming captivity or seeming experience of captivity by sticking to just one bubble or whatever, or one experience, one specific goal or outcome or whatever, like the seeming captivity of it is actually very like life embracing or something. It is like an act of worship or self-worship to you. Very, very cool energy actually, okay? You need to like re-listen to this reading, I feel. 5 of Swords, a lot of conflicting energy. I feel like you need to like re-watch this reading like one more time, because the first one is kind of like the download of energy, and then the second time is going to be the actual aftermath of the mixing. You understand? Okay, so let's get the full spread. The 5 of Swords, the 4 of Cups. The 3 of Swords. Like, it's interesting how, like, it's almost like an irritating energy is kind of what I want to say, because like it's interesting how these kinds of cards would show itself after an expression of this much energy and emotion, you know. It's kind of like that like vampiric energy of like something consistently wanting to have like receive confirmation or support or like yeah, but once you give it or once it's done, it's kind of like, oh well, yeah, rat is 5 of Swords. Like, I don't know, this is actually irritating me a little bit, this energy, for some reason. I'm actually feeling a little bit like, what the fuck. And like, don't feel bad about it, because I feel like that's part of this like enlightened experience. It's kind of like you actually held yourself captive in some way by expecting yourself to have to endure certain frequencies because it's part of it all, or something like that. You really don't have to. You really don't have to. Because it's almost like this good energy comes, and then this like this thing wants to be like, yeah, but what about this? Like, that's the energy I'm getting. And I'm like, but took a fuck off. It might be your lower self or whatever, but that gives you even more right to be like, no, I don't want this. So this is actually reminding me now that I think about it, about like yesterday's reading where I said at the very end, like choosing your blessings. Like, it's okay for you to choose your blessings and choose to let certain things die off or kill certain frequencies. I feel like a lot of this internal conflict that you were enduring was actually because it's almost like you kept wanting to fix a situation or understand a situation or make something work. Like that 3 of Cups when this Ace of Cups is being given to you. Because of this like weird idea that you had to fix it, or you owed this like something, your energy or something like that. because you're spiritual, or because like it's still God and I need to love it for or something like that. It's truly this like mind bending like bullshit that you consistently have to go through in order to just like be met with fuck all when you give a lot. That's the kind of energy I'm getting here, okay? So either way, I feel like this detachment is this frequency that you're getting with this understanding that you're coming to of this is actually pretty intense because like it's not that serious, but like that it's not that serious is giving me a sense of like I don't know, it's like witnessing somebody close to you that you thought you really held dear to your heart to die, and you're like it's really not that serious. Like this is the kind of detachment I'm getting. It's and I feel like this also has a lot to do with that like God ascension, blah blah blah. It's kind of like coming to this level. It's almost like it's kind of like seeing all frequencies as like if it's not good for you, then it's simply just discarded now. It doesn't matter how the person feels about it. It doesn't matter if they die without your life force or anything like that. It's just like no. Like if you're any kind of like conflict, then it just doesn't get to live or something. It's almost like something was an aspect of you was feeding off of this uncertainty of whether you are allowed to desire good things for yourself. Very weird. But whatever. Page of Wands, I feel like that's this like new idea, this new understanding. It might not feel like an overwhelming like awakening right now, but it is leading to that. This is the fire, this is the ember that starts the forest fire, or that starts the whatever. Okay, it's just an analogy, right? A metaphor. I don't know really the difference. Or didn't listen in class. So Judgment and the Two of Cups. I'm also seeing the Nine of Swords and the Page of Pentacles and the Chariot. You know what? I'm like like my readings are very much actually like energetic healings, because I need to like detangle a lot of energy, and then like obviously because the healing is done at the end, you feel better, or you feel the energy shift or whatever, right? So I'm again gonna give you like this last what's actually happening. You know what is happening here? I just got it. Just bear with me, because it left me a little bit, but just bear with me here quickly. It's almost like you are being forcefully elevated. What was that energy? It's almost like you're being forcefully elevated into a state of being where you will be beyond where you will be beyond how can I say this without sounding very harsh? Because this is very harsh energy. It's literally giving this vibe of like really not taking like bullshit, in a sense of like I don't know, like not allowing yourself not to want good. I don't know what's happening with you, quite honestly. Or I do, but I feel a little bit like I'm not explaining it well, or like I'm talking in circles, or like it's not making sense or something. But I feel like that's maybe also the whole point. That's why you need to go like listen to it again or something. Or at least the very start, before I even started pulling cards, like listen to that part or something, okay? I just had this understanding, but then it left me again. Just bear with me quickly. I feel like this Godhead ascension. It's this is very like all encompassing because like the energy feels very big, but the card showing up is very like shitty energy. But again, that's the kind of energy that's consistently that you're being met with when you give like a lot, right? But I feel like that was some kind of aspect of you that again like felt like you needed to fix something, or felt like you like something you owed some kind of experience to yourself or to a person or something like that. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. Jesus, it's kind of like you're being forcefully evicted out of this consciousness of servitude. And that means Jesus. That means like in every sense of the word, spiritual, emotional, physical, fucking. And by servitude I mean like literally living for anybody but yourself. Because quite honestly, I feel like, listen, you are such a pure being. This Three of Swords is your heart that's been stabbed, or that's been misunderstood, or that's been, I'm hearing claimed even in some kind of weird twisted fucking way, right? But it's giving this energy of you're this pure being. So I'm not saying you were, like, I'm actually saying the opposite. You were never actually maybe even betrayed, but like you were betraying yourself by always putting yourself second or putting yourself third or something like that. And like that's the energy that you are being forcefully evicted from. This whole new age crap about like coming to Gaia to save humanity, being a starseed, all of that, it's a consciousness trap to keep you in servitude consciousness, to keep you wanting to give of yourself without giving to yourself. You know, a spring can't flow if it doesn't maintain itself. If it you understand, the spirit of the spring like directs the nature around it to build and to grow, so that like the water and the life force keeps flowing. But if it always just flows without like regarding itself for what it is as the life-giving force, then I don't know, it like you die because you betray yourself, anyway, like very like shitty energy, but not really, because like I feel like that's part of the actual healing of like this whole idea of like you were never a victim. It's because you were actually the perpetrator yourself. Like you were, if you go look back at any situation you were in, you would see that in every way you always put yourself second or third or fourth, or you actually never put yourself first. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, every way, okay? So this is very interesting energy. I'm glad I got to crack it though, like at the end. Like you are taking away you're being forcefully evicted from this energy of servitude, okay? Okay, thank you so much, guys. That was your reading. Thank you for liking, subscribing, donating, contacting me for a personal reading and session. Everything is in the description box down below. I will see you again for another reading tomorrow.